Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for taking some time to chill with me today. So in today's video, I am going to be going over some Middle Eastern fragrances that I blindly bought that are fails for me, unfortunately. I'm not too mad at it because majority of the fragrances that I do purchase are blind buys, and I have a really good success rate. So the ones that I have in front of me, I'm not too mad about it, right? It doesn't happen that often, and you win some and you lose some. So I can't be mad at it. But some of these you guys are going to absolutely love, and you going to come for me in the comments. Please don't come for me in the comments. For whatever reason, these didn't work for me. Not saying that you can't love them and you shouldn't enjoy them. Please do. I hope you do. But for one reason or another, these didn't necessarily work for me. But if you're new here, welcome, guys. My name is Naya. Here on my channel, I love all things fragrance. I try to sprinkle in some beauty here and there. So if that's your thing, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Become a member of my wonderful YouTube family. Like, share, and hype this video if you are truly enjoying the content. I greatly appreciate it. If you're a returning subscriber, you guys already know you're the bombs. Let's start with the first one. Like I said, guys, don't come for me in the comments. If you love these fragrances, then that is great for you, and I'm happy for you. But on me, with my body chemistry, for whatever reason, these did not work. So these are not ranked. I'm just going to pull them and we're going to discuss it as we go. The first one is going to be Decadent Dream. This is inspired by Amouage Guidance. Now, I have been trying to get with the Guidance DNA, and for some reason it's just not clicking with me. And people are saying, well, if you have a hard time with Guidance, try Guidance 46. They said that it's smoother, it's a little better, the rough edges are, you know, smoothed out. And that's exactly how I would describe Decadent Dream. There's rough edges to it, and to me it just smells strong, it smells harsh, it smells like it's not completely rounded, it smells boozy. And I know there's not a liquor note listed, but to me it's just a wild combination. This is something I've never smelled before, something that I have had in my collection for a little while, tried to let it sit, tried to let it mature so that I can come back around to it and see if it's turned into anything else, and it hasn't. It is just not for me, unfortunately. I enjoy Decadent Wonder by this same line, and that one is supposed to be inspired by Love Delight, and I absolutely love that one. That one is like a nice, smooth, powdery ginger type scent. So I got this one thinking, you know, okay, I love the first one, this one should be great as well, but it's not. And so for me, Decadent Dream is a blind buy fail. The next one, like I said, please don't come for me in the comments. This is your beloved Abiyedh Coral. Guys, I can't do this one. Let me spray it, because 9 times out of 10 when I do these videos, after I spray it, there will be 1 or 2 that I say, okay, maybe I can get with this one. So let me give her a spray before I say absolutely no. But it's okay here on the paper, and I think that was my initial response. On the paper, it's fine. On my skin, there is a note that just doesn't mesh well with me. Yeah, I feel like it's starting to come to the surface. On me, this gets very aquatic, and I am not a fan of aquatic or marine type notes, and for me this does that on my skin. On the paper here, it smells like everybody describes it, like a watermelon Jolly Rancher, but once this gets on my skin, it does something completely different. And for that reason, I just can't vibe with her. I know you guys love her. I'm so happy that you do. I was hoping that I could love her as well, because this would be such a fun spring and summer type of scent, but it just gets way too aquatic on my skin. And for me, that's not enjoyable. So your beloved Abiyedh Coral by Lattafa was a blind buy fail. The next one, guys, is also loved here on the fragrance streets of YouTube. And same thing on my skin, it just does something a little weird and I can't really get with it. This is Ibisco Nirvana by Paris Corner. Believe this is inspired by hibiscus mahajad, and I've never smelled that fragrance, but this one is just, let me give her a spray before I say anything. Let me give her a nice spray. But she has been sitting in my drawer maturing, hoping that she would come around. Yeah. And so this is pretty on paper, but I am slightly getting that mint note. And that's what I don't care for in this fragrance. Everything else is beautiful to me, even the rose, because I can definitely get the rose here and it's beautiful. I really like that. But that mint note, I can't get with the mint note. And I've learned to say in my perfume journey that I don't care for how a particular note is done in a fragrance. Instead of saying, I hate mint, I don't want mint in anything, I'm not going to say that. I just don't care for the way the mint note is done in this fragrance and how it plays on my skin. If the mint note was taken out of this, to me, this would be a beautiful fragrance because, like I said, I do enjoy that rose in here. But unfortunately, guys, Ibisco Nirvana is just not my jam, and that is a blind buy fail for me. The next one, guys, is very new to my collection. So some people may say, well, that's unfair to say if it's a blind buy fail if it's new. But I already know this profile is just not gonna be for me. And so this is Masa by Latafa. I got this a couple weeks back and she's just not doing it for me. I believe there is like a mineral note in here, and I definitely picked that up on my skin. And to me, that's not a pleasant wearing experience. Yeah, like I even get it on the paper. Like, it's slightly sweet. It smells like there's some suede in here. Slightly floral, but I definitely get that mineral note. And the only way I can describe that is to say it almost smells like cold and steel like on my skin. And I just don't care for that. I know some people really love this fragrance. I just can't get with that mineral note. It just does something on my skin and it sticks around. I think it's the, yeah, I'm getting it, and it smells almost slightly green. The mineral note with the suede and the greenness. No, get this away from me. I'm sorry. I can't continue to smell that because that's going to make me feel a little nauseous, but I can't get with that one. So Masa by Lattafa is a blind buy fail for me. The next one is going to be one that I've had in my collection for a little while, not too long, but maybe a few months now. And I've been trying to let her sit, let her come together, but I feel like this one isn't bad. I feel like it's just redundant in my collection. So this one is Mocha Wood, and this one is, well, now I know that it's supposed to be inspired by one of the Delinas, I think, and I have enough of that in my collection. So for me, this is just a little redundant, but let's give her a spray. I love the atomizer on that one though. So let's see if it's like, you know, doing anything different. Yeah, see, this one just feels a little screechy. Still has like that alcohol at the top. Yeah, this one hasn't smoothed out at all to me. This one doesn't smell well rounded. It doesn't smell well blended. You get the rose in there, but it just doesn't feel like the notes are coming together, you know? And it is giving somewhat of a Delina vibe to me. But out of all of the Delina inspirations that I have in my collection, this wouldn't be one that I would reach for. It just kind of feels inferior to the other ones. If I'm being honest, it doesn't smell well blended. It doesn't smell sophisticated. It doesn't have that touch to it. So for that reason, Mocha Wood was a blind buy fail. The next one is another one that I got because a lot of people were saying that this one was really, really good, really, really nice. And it's from a line that I was enjoying at the time. So I said, why not? Let's add it to the collection. So this one is the Club de Nuit Intense. And this one, people were kind of saying that this isn't an easy one to fall in love with. They were saying that it was unique. They were saying that it was different. And so let's give it a spray just to see what we're getting now. But okay, so what I will say about this one is that it has been sitting in my collection for a little while. I feel like it's trying to come together. I don't feel like it's quite there yet. I will say that this one could probably sit for a little while longer and maybe, you know, swing back around to it at some point in the future. But I can definitely say that there's some rose in there. I definitely get that. There's some florals in there. There's a touch of patchouli in there. I can get that. There's a slight earthy tone to this, so I'm assuming that's some patchouli. There's some rose. I feel like there's some spice in there too, maybe like a saffron. It's coming together. It's coming together. This one still needs time. So this one isn't a complete fail. This one is, we're going to let her sit and we're going to let her mature and maybe swing back around to Club de Nuit Intense. So the next one is also another one that I feel like I have enough of this DNA in my collection. And so for that reason, it's a blind buy fail. So this one is going to be Chocola Addict, and this is by French Avenue. And so this one is going to be your chocolate orange type scent. And let's give her a spray. I think when I reviewed this, I said at the time I like it, but it feels redundant in my collection. And for the ones that I have that's a similar profile to this, I wouldn't reach for this one. I would reach for the ones that I have already. Yeah, so this chocolate in here smells like a dark chocolate. The citrus in here is really beautiful. That smells like an orange or like a tangerine maybe, or something like that. But that chocolate, I think I mentioned this in my video before, it's almost giving me like that chocolate funk. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a deep, dark chocolate that's almost leaning to like a chocolate funk. Yeah, and so for that reason, I don't care for this one. I don't reach for this one. I have beautiful chocolate tangerine combination type of fragrances in my collection already that I will reach for 20 times over before I reach for this one. So for that reason, Chocola Addict is a blind buy fail for me. The next one is going to be from a house that I've never heard of before. I was watching a few videos and people were talking about this one, saying that it was really nice. And so I wanted to give it a try. So this is Watani Intense Gold, and this is by Watania. I hope I'm pronouncing that one right. But let's give this one a spray, because when I originally saw this one, the notes looked amazing to me, and so I just wanted to give this one a try. So let's spray her. I'm really hoping that this one came around, because all the notes that's listed, I really want to like this one. Okay, so I will say on paper, it smells like it's coming around and it's doing something a little different. Okay, I want to spray this one just on the back of my hand and let that sit for a little bit and come back to it. But there's definitely some sweetness in here. Yeah, oh yeah, that's getting pretty. Definitely some sweetness, definitely like a slight spice in here. I'm getting like a touch of some white florals maybe, but it's soft. This is getting pretty on paper. Okay, tons of vanilla in there, very sweet, almost like another type of sweetness in here other than just that vanilla, but I can't pinpoint and say exactly what that is. But it smells really good on paper. So let's see what it's doing on my skin. Getting the same vibe on my skin, but those white florals are standing out. That's jasmine. Yeah, definitely some jasmine in there. My skin just pulls that jasmine. I think I've said this in a video before. A fragrance can have a drop of jasmine and my skin is going to pull it. It smells sweet though. It almost smells slightly spiced, slightly honeyed. There's some vanilla in there. The jasmine isn't indolic at all. Okay. Okay. I do still feel like she may need to sit just for a little bit. This one feels like spring, early fall with that jasmine. Yeah. I like this. I like this one. So I'm going to let her sit. I'm going to come back to her in a couple months to see if she's changed at all. I still feel like the texture of this, she just needs to come together just a little more. But I think that's pretty on my skin. For me, primarily what I'm getting is like a sweet jasmine. It almost feels honeyed. There's like a slight spice to this. So there has to be like some spices listed. That's not bad though. So I'm going to continue to let her sit. So Watani Intense Gold, not a blind by fail. We're going to come back to her at some point. So the next one, guys, is going to be from Swiss Arabian. And I enjoyed the Oud and Lychee. I believe that's what it's called. This one is the Jasmine and Honey. And I think the reason why I didn't care for this one is because that jasmine, like I said, on my skin, it picks it up. Oh, I love the atomizer on that. It picks it up and it just like amplifies on my skin. But let's see what it's doing on paper. That feels a little airy. Okay, wait a minute. On paper, it feels a little airy. I will say this one has changed because my initial response when I smelled this was it smelled a little mature. And now on the paper, it smells a little airy. It smells a little light. You definitely get that jasmine. And the honey in here feels like a light drizzle of honey, right? Okay, not bad. So I will have to definitely play with this one on skin. So Jasmine and Honey, we're going to swing back around to her. So I guess we should have just called this video Blind by Fail or Nah, because some of these may go back into the collection. But the next one is going to be Rave Pure Desire Gold, and this is by Lattafa. I think I saw maybe 2 or 3 people on YouTube talk about this one, and it just sounded like a nice, rich, ambery perfume that would be perfect for fall and winter. And so I definitely wanted to add this one to my collection. I haven't smelled this one in a while because, like I said, I've been letting all of these kind of sit, hoping that they would, you know, come back around and do something different. But let me give this one a smell. So this one isn't bad. This one isn't a type of fragrance that I would personally want to smell like. You definitely get like the amber in here, but there's like a strong presence of a cologne vibe in here. That's what it smells like. Like you just sprayed cologne on yourself. Very masculine leaning, in my opinion. Not something that I would want to smell like. This to me is very masculine, and I could see a man wearing this. It just has that cologne presence. I get that amber, but that's pretty much it. That cologne just kind of takes over the whole fragrance. So for that reason, Rave Pure Desire Gold is a blind buy fail. The only reason why this next one is a blind buy fail is because after I purchased it, I realized that this was supposed to be inspired by Burberry Goddess, I believe. And I have Angam in my collection, and I absolutely love that one. I had the original Burberry Goddess, and I gave that to my sister because once I got Angam, I just wasn't reaching for the original anymore. And so I wasn't aware that this was supposed to be inspired by that fragrance. This is Manaal. And so I'm going to give it a spray because I remember when I first got this and reviewed this, I couldn't really tell what it was giving. It just kind of smelled nondescript to me, and just wasn't sure of what I was smelling, right? But now I am getting that presence of that lavender. I'm getting that presence of vanilla. Okay, hold on now. That's pretty now. This has been sitting in my collection, I want to say, for at least 6 months, I believe. So it's had a chance to develop. When I first got this, like I said, I couldn't smell anything. I didn't know what it was. It just smelled like a sweet designer perfume. I wasn't getting any lavender. I wasn't getting like any bergamot. I wasn't getting any of that. But now I'm getting it. This is pretty. Okay. I like this. You know, like I said in the beginning, sometimes, you know, they turn around, and they've been sitting in the collection, and a few of these have turned around. And listen, that's a win-win for me because I spent my money. So I want them to turn around. This one's pretty. Now, do I like this one more than Angam? No. But this one is very pretty. Definitely getting that lavender now. Definitely getting that bergamot. Tons of vanilla. This one is sweet. I like this one. Okay, so Manaal is going back into the collection. Happy about that. I will definitely get some wear out of that one. The next one is one that I've never heard of before. I don't think I've seen anyone do reviews on this one. I think one day I was just on Amazon, and it was just maybe a lazy Saturday, and I'm just scrolling, and it came up, and I read the notes, and I said, okay, add this one to cart. And it was very inexpensive. And so this one is, I hope I pronounced this right, Oyuny. This is by Haramain. And so, like I said, the notes online sound amazing. Let me give it a spray, because from what I remember, this was giving like a air freshener or like a car freshener type of vibe, and that's the only reason why I couldn't get with it. Yeah, so it's fruity. You get like the peach and the rose and the apple. It just smells synthetic. It smells synthetic. It smells a little cheap, if I'm being honest. I hate using that word, but it smells a little cheap. It smells synthetic. It's still giving me like that air freshener, car freshener type of vibe. just not something that I would want to smell like. Very synthetic, very undone, in my opinion. So that one again is Oyuny. I hope I'm saying that one right. Cute bottle. I love that ombre. Very cute bottle. But the juice for me, unfortunately, is a no. The last one, guys, is one that I purchased because I went into Sephora and I smelled the original fragrance that this one is inspired by. And you know, when I smelled the original in the store, I said to myself, this bitter almond note is giving me a bit of a problem. But when I watched reviews on this one, people were saying it's creamier, that bitter almond note isn't as prominent. And so I wanted to, you know, get it and try it for myself. And unfortunately, that bitter almond note is very, very present. And I will say about this one, you have to enjoy a bitter almond because it is driving the bus on this fragrance. This is Sensual Vanilla by Maison Alhambra. This is inspired by Tom Ford's Vanilla SEX. And so let's give it a spray, see what it's doing. I'm almost afraid to smell this one. Almost afraid to smell this one. Because like I said, that bitter almond was giving me the blues. Yeah. I will say this about it. It feels like it has smoothed out just a touch. But that bitter almond is still there. It's still very present. It's not as sharp as it was in the beginning. This one may need to sit for a little while longer because what I will say is my initial spray with this, that bitter almond just took over. Now I feel like I'm getting a smoother bitter almond and I'm getting some vanilla to go along with it, right? It does smell sweeter. It does smell a little creamier, a little smoother. Yeah, but this one still may be a no for me. I'll give her like another month or so and come back and try her. But I think this one is still going to be a no for me, only because to me and my nose, that bitter almond is still there. And on my skin, I know it's going to come out and it's just going to be crazy. So again, Sensual Vanilla by Maison Alhambra. Guys, that's going to do it for my video for the day. Wanted to come on here and share with you some of my Middle Eastern perfume blind buy fails. And as we can see, a few of them were not fails, and I'm happy about that. They will definitely go back into the collection. A few of these I will let sit and give you an update on them, but majority of these are fails, unfortunately. And if you love these, if you have these in your collection, that is awesome. I'm glad that you love them. I'm glad that they're working for you, but unfortunately for me, they were fails. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I hope that you come back, subscribe to my channel, become a member of my YouTube family. Like I said, like, share, and hype this video if you're enjoying the content. Leave me a comment below. Let me know if you have some of these in your collection. If you absolutely love them, I would love to hear that. And if you don't agree with me, that is fine as well. But until the next time, guys, bye.